Hi, everybody. This is Zerach Moshe Feder here. Blessings for peace and light from Jerusalem. These are lessons from the Leshem, brought to you to enlighten us more about the real authentic teachings of the Kabbalah. And today's lesson is about a warning. What do I mean? Well, almost all Kabbalah books of renown, they start with somewhere in the introduction having a warning about whether you really should be getting into this stuff or not. And it's not just because of Stam that it's like this. There is reasons for it that I'd like to delve into to see if the material I'm presenting really will be appropriate for you. And if it is, great. And if it's not, also good, because there's many ways to get to this, the concepts here, and this is just one of the ways. So let's start with the Zohar itself, attributed to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai himself. It's the first written source that we have of Kabbalistic teachings. And at the beginning of the section in the Zohar called the Idra Rabbah, Rabbi Shimon introduces Kabbalistic concepts in a speech that he's giving to his students right before he thought he was going to be passing away from the world. And the quote is very simple. It says, V'yativ Rabbi Shimon u'bacha v'amar v'yi ila galena, which translates as Rabbi Shimon sat down in order to say over what he was going to say, and he started to cry. And what did he say? He said, "Oy, if I reveal this, and oy, if I don't reveal this." Or you could say, it's very problematic if I reveal this to you, and it's a big problem if I don't reveal it to you. So already you see the dynamic tension there. And the Matok Midrash, the commentary of recent times, he says on this, V'amar im egale et sodot gedolim shel tikunei partzufei atik v'arich ki makom gavoa ma'od v'ketiv v'kavod elokim ester davar l'umat ze oy im ani lo egale ki az chavirim yu chasirim meida v'sodot elu. What he's saying is basically about certain subjects that of the partsufim of Atik and Arich, which isn't the place here to go into that. If he reveals to them about it, then he's revealing the secrets of the heavens. But if he doesn't, then the people won't understand. And that is exactly what the whole concept of in Kabbalah is about, which is exactly whether we are going to if we're revealing too much or not. And that's also built into the whole way that the whole world is created. Is basically God is hidden from us. If you haven't noticed, it's not something you run into at the bus stop, right? Why is that? Because that allows for free will, and that theme will come up again and again and again in our studies. So therefore, the more we reveal, the more challenging it is. On the other hand, if we don't reveal enough, then all sorts of problems also can happen. So we have to be on that fine line between revealing enough to strengthen us in our faith and not revealing too much where it's getting used in the wrong way. And for example, some of the reasons given for not revealing this in the past was, according to Rav Ari Kaplan. By the way, if you want great books about Kabbalah in English, he still is the benchmark. He wrote books in the 1970s in English, many titles. If you get a hold of a copy of them, tremendous. So anyway, so he said one of the reasons was that the Kabbalah tradition originally came from the prophets. And the prophets, the prophetic tradition, they were afraid that it would get out of whack and cause all sorts of problems. When we went into exile and the second temple was destroyed, that this knowledge would cause all sorts of spiritual problems for the Jewish people if we're not grounded in the land and we're not in some sort of stable situation. So it was shut down and pushed into secret societies. Another problem is anthropomorphism, which has been a problem. Even to this day, it is a little bit, but the people would read about anthropomorphic descriptions and get confused and think maybe God has an arm, or God has a beard, God has eyes, things like that. And because the world was a much more literal world in those days, right? Now that we have technology and we know, like for instance, I'm not in this little box on your cell phone or on your screen. I'm recording this in Jerusalem and you're watching a film and you understand that. Today we understand much more that there's abstract possibilities in the world. So a lot of people are of the opinion today, a lot of rabbis, that these reasons that were in the past are less important today. But in my humble opinion about this issue is basically, according to what we see, there is an idea that as we get closer to the redemption, that these things get revealed more and more. And the reason isn't necessarily because somehow we're becoming greater, but maybe even the opposite, is that we need stronger and stronger medicine to hang on to our faith in God. Because the world is just full, and that's getting back to the point about the internet, is just full of misinformation. It's full of all sorts of stuff. I don't have to tell you because you know as much as I do, all sorts of misinformation and fake news about religion, about Kabbalah, about God, all sorts of things. So the message I'm giving to you is this. This information that is being presented here is very powerful, it's very beautiful, and it can be of a great help to you. So how can you tell if it's for you or not? Well, it's a personal decision. And if you want to actually be personally in contact with me, I'll help you with that too, if it's relevant. But basically, if this information makes you feel uplifted and makes you feel closer to God and makes your life feel more fulfilled, that's a sign that it's medicine that's helping you. And if it's confusing you or making you feel like you don't want to have anything to do with all this crazy stuff, then it means that it's really not appropriate for you. And that's basically it. And today, with the internet, you have to make the decision. It's not something that's something in the past, not too far along. I mean, even I would even admit to people that I learned this stuff because they would look at me kind of strange and go, yeah, it's not, how can you do that? That's not what we do, right? I even remember, and when my original Chavruta first started maybe 40 years ago, to get the books wasn't even so easy. You would have to go to a special place and they would kind of look you over and decide whether it was appropriate for you. So the answer is it's much more appropriate for many more people today. And we're also going to stick to talking about certain aspects of this knowledge that are general and that are the idea and the ideals that explain the major processes of how the relationship between the universe and God and us works. Without getting into the nitty-gritty details, which you're welcome to do if you find this to be the discipline that's interesting you. And again, that it should make our hearts long to get closer to the Holy One and bring us closer to redemption and closer to fulfilling our true selves and our true lives in this lowly world that God put us in to do his will. So that's all for today. Blessings and peace from Jerusalem. So Zerach Moshe here, and we'll see you next time in the next recorded class. Bye for now. Take care and God bless you all.